Hello everybody, my name is Ekay and you're watching EkayTech. So today we're playing a game called Apex Legends, which is a newly released Battle Royale game. As you guys can see from the video in the background, we're running everything as maxed out as is possible, running at a 3440 by 1440 resolution, which for those unaware is the ultra-wide resolution of the 1440p resolution. Now, I'm running a 1080 Ti OC Strix edition. All the specs, by the way, guys, will be in the description of this video. Running at 2700X, 32 gigabytes of DDR4, 3200 MHz RAM. Now, first of all, I wanted to quickly dive into the training. I had to finish the training, but I wanted to show it off a little bit because I wanted to see what the comparison was between running the game at, just the game itself and running the game with other people in the map. And I can fairly confidently say that it's very, very nice, actually. I'm very much accustomed to these kind of games not really running as well as I'd like them to run. Usually games, let's say PUBG for example, they try to push a lot of graphical fidelity and it just doesn't really work too well. The game starts lagging, especially with multiple people on the screen. And so far, in all honesty, I haven't really experienced that with this game. It's been fairly smooth for all my playtime. Now, as you can see, during the tutorial, you're sitting at around about 70 to 80 FPS. If you go to more interior-like areas where there's less to be seen, your FPS will rise into the 80s, into the low 90s. This, however, is not the most interesting part of the test, of course. You guys want to see, hey, what happens when I'm actually playing with other people? What happens when I'm playing in a big firefight? So let's swap over to that game mode right now. Alright, so here we are heading into the actual gameplay itself. We are in the menu right now, of course. We have to select our legend. Honestly, right here, I was super confused. I was like, wait, what do these legends do? What are they? What kind of weapons do they have? And I didn't realize there was a bar in the bottom of the screen that was depleting rather rapidly. I'm used to, League of Legends, where I have about 30 seconds to choose what I want to play. And here I have more like, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds or something. As you guys can see, the performance, of course, since we are in a menu right now, is well and above beyond 100 FPS, usually even up to 120 FPS or so. It doesn't really matter too much, but it's always nice to know that, the game takes advantage of not being tasked too heavily, so it can, push out some more frames in the lobbies. Because if games start lagging in lobbies, that's usually where I'm like, ooh, what's going on? This isn't like some sort of an engine issue. It does just not bump up to a specific amount. So here we go, guys. We're going into the game. We are in the mid 60s right now, which is still perfectly fine. We're looking at the entirety of the map. The LOD distance, or the distance at which objects are drawn, seems to be rather nice. In the far distance you could see a couple of minor pop-ins, but they were so minor that I really did not mention them too much. We are sitting at, well, late 50s, but this is not really a gameplay part. This is just, scenery, like, oh my god, look at this. Of course, there's like some gameplay in choosing where you go. Apparently, we're following some guy called Rulter B. We're also going to be following him throughout the most part of this gameplay as well. Because this guy seems to be knowing what to do. He's level 6, I'm level 1. He's the boss, I'm following him. So I was like, wait, do I have to press a button? I'm gonna crash to my death. And apparently, you just automatically use your rocket boots to sort of, push yourself back. Here was like, wait, is there a weapon? And I couldn't find a weapon. So, focusing on the performance itself, which of course is the reason why you guys are here. As you guys can see, the GPU is pushing at 99%, which is just a good thing in general. Your GPU should always be pushing at 99% if the game allows it. So it's a very nice thing. I'm already dying, by the way, so don't mind me. I'm bad at these games. We were sitting at a 90 FPS a while back. We're sitting at mid 70s, mid 80s, bumping into the hundreds because of course we're dying, so there's nothing to render right now. Judging from our CPU, like our CPU is doing pretty much nothing. It's sitting at 17%. So our GPU is just, sorry, our CPU is just chilling. So here we're swapping to the point of view of someone else, because if you're dead, then you're gonna go to the point of view of one of your teammates, if one of your teammates is still alive. This was rather interesting to me because I see some minor rubber banding here. You can see I'm guessing it's some sort of ping issue. I'm not quite sure. My ping is fine as far as I can tell. I've always had pretty good internet, but maybe this is some issue with the server, maybe this is some issue with the other person's internet, or maybe this is just the game in general having this issue. Because as you can see, when this person starts running, there's going to be some minor hiccups, like some stuttering, sort of. And I believe it's called rubber banding. I'm not entirely certain. I might be messing up some terms here, so if I am, please correct me in the comments down below, because I'd really like to know whether I'm using the term correctly. Anyway, as you can see, the FPS stays very nicely at around about 100 right now, because he's in an enclosed area. He's heading towards me, by the way, so he's going to recover me, which is very nice. You can, in this game, grab some people, and you can bring these people to these spawn points, and then, of course, you can respawn them, so it's actually very nice. If you guys, of course, die, you know, while the circle of doom is approaching you, then it might be a bit hard to rescue, but, you know, it's an interesting addition to these types of games. Because, like, this person knows exactly where to go, I didn't, so I was like, you know what, for the rest of this video, I'm gonna be following this guy. The CPU is still doing absolutely nothing. So this shows that the game just does not require your CPU at all. What I also noticed, which is very interesting to me, is that the game does not really utilize my additional threads that well. As you can see from the performance, it says CPU 1 high percentage, CPU 2 often dips into a low percentage, CPU 3 stays high, CPU 4 drops low. So every even CPU is underutilized, while every uneven CPU core is utilized very well. And I'm assuming this just means that the game does not utilize the amount of cores that I have, as well as some other games might be able to use it. However, very importantly, this does not matter at all, because the game does not require your CPU to be strong. It just requires a decent GPU to push out the frames. So this means, in terms of recommendations, if I had to recommend a system specifically for this game, I'd probably go with an i5, probably somewhere like a 6400K or something, like something not necessarily budget, but by no means high-end. Any mid-range i5, I'm pretty certain, would be able to push this game to its limits. So if you're building a PC specifically for this game, then I'm very much recommending you invest most of your money into your video card, because that is going to net you the most gains. I haven't tested this, of course, with any other video cards, but considering my CPU is not doing anything, my RAM is not doing anything spectacular, like it's not being utilized to any certain extent that worries me at all. I can very, very firmly say that the GPU is the bottleneck for this game in pretty much all cases. Perhaps maybe if you're running like a dual core CPU from 2003 or something, then you might be experiencing some issues, but even then I'm thinking you'd be reasonably fine. So yeah, that's pretty much the performance of this game. There's nothing really spectacular going on here. We are remaining pretty much above, let's say 70 FPS for the majority of this game. Yes, we are dipping into the late 50s sometimes, especially when we are overlooking large areas. But the good thing is that when you are overlooking those large areas, you are not really in control of your character, you're not really playing the game, you don't really have to respond to anything. So having frame dips in positions where you don't have to respond to anything is not the biggest issue, because, you know, there's no gameplay to be had. So it's just a minor hiccup that you could deal with. So he was being shot at. I was like, wait, what the hell? What is this person? What's this person? Okay, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to shoot this person. I'm going to kill this person. Here we go, guys. Here we go, guys. Look at my gunplay here. Let's go. Let's go. One shot. Here, there we go. Bam. And I'm dead. So as you can see, guys, I am great at these kinds of games. I hadn't even seen where my health is. I think my health is at the left bottom corner. So we've got Rule to B trying to help us out here, but it didn't really work. Rule to B couldn't get the kill either, and I'm thinking Rule to B dies as well in just a second. Yeah, so this is the end of my gameplay, which is also, of course, going to be the end of the video. Wait, no, Rule to B is still alive. Wait, I'm thinking he dies here. Wait, let's watch this guy. Let's watch this guy. Like, this guy's going ham as fuck. Let's go. Let's run in here. Doesn't he have like a melee ability or anything? Isn't there a melee ability in this game? Is it class dependent? I don't know. So we're sitting at late 50s right here now, but I'm pretty certain, when you're looking at someone else, like we even dropped into the 40s. I'm thinking when you look at someone else, the FPS drops a bit more. Not entirely certain on that, but I'm pretty confident that I'm right with that. Great thing is I dealt most damage of my team. I did 41 damage as opposed to 30, and I think the other one had 6 or something. So that is the Apex video for you guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this gave you some insight into the performance of this game. If you want me to test anything else, if there's anything I perhaps have missed, any bottlenecks that some people have been mentioning that I just completely skipped over, feel free to let me know in the comments down below and I will do my best to take a look at it. So thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you'd like to see more of these kind of videos, I try and upload pretty much every week as long as I can manage. So please do stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. Like the video if you liked it. Comment down below. And of course, guys, have a nice day and I'll see you around.